I'm going to be honest with you. I've been dreading making this video all day long. I knew I wasn't going to be able to give it a complete look through, but I watched Dr. Ford's opening statements. I watched Judge Kavanaugh's opening statements, and I watched the whole questioning of Judge Kavanaugh. I have not yet had a chance to watch the questioning of Dr. Ford. I listened to a small portion of it when I was on my lunch break, but I haven't seen it. So I guess we'll just kind of take it from the top and go from there. During Dr. Ford's opening statements, and this isn't definitive, I'm not an expert. I've done some small studying, hobby type stuff. But when somebody's choked up by something, it's painted all over their face. It doesn't just make their voice crackle a little bit. So, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't believe that something happened to her. I don't know her. I don't know what may have happened to her. But her emotion came off forced to me. Take that for what it is. Doesn't mean that she's lying, but it is something to consider. She said essentially the same thing that we've all been hearing for the past couple of weeks now. She was somewhere at some time at some party. She listed people that were there, and she recounted the events that we already all know. And then she went on to talk about everything that's happened since then. And it's bad. I mean, people nowadays are just fucking disgusting. It doesn't help. If you think you're helping things by threatening people, it doesn't help. It never helps. When are we going to learn that? When are people on all sides going to learn sending people death threats doesn't help? It hurts every time. Just don't do it. Because everybody's going to bring that up as a thing. Stop making it a thing. Don't be stupid. First of all, you ain't going to fucking do anything. We're all pussies. Every one of us that makes fucking threats and stupid shit like that. Stop. Just stop. What? Anyways. So, the small bit of the questioning that I heard was essentially, as I figured it was going to be, the Republicans hired counsel, asked her questions in 5-minute increments. It was awful. I mean, it was just stupid. In 5 minutes, you can't get any sort of read on anybody for anything. You can't establish anything. I mean, it was, I guess it was a good idea, whatever. Alyssa Milano sure tried to spin it into, you know, they worried about the optics of a bunch of men interviewing a woman. What they should have worried about the optics of a bunch of men not interviewing a woman. Okay, sure, whatever. Like, you twist shit however you want to. It's so fucking dumb. They had her there, she asked questions, 5-minute increments, and it, as far as I'm concerned, it was pretty much nullifying that entire half of it. It didn't, what I heard of it, I was kind of sitting there going, what, why the fuck are we even, why even bother with this shit? And of course, the Democrats, all they did really was praise her for coming forward and essentially tell her how they believe her on everything. So that was as predicted. And then Judge Kavanaugh's opening statements, he started off very strong, very pissed, and he just at a point started to lose it. Like he was losing his shit. And in the car when I was listening to it on the way home before I actually got to sit and watch it, I was like, is he fucking crying? I'm like, okay. But now that I like have seen the whole thing and I understand when that sort of thing started, when the change happened, I was kind of like, oh, okay, I get it. It had a lot of, you know, emotional tugging type things in it. I think he came off very well. You know, I couldn't see a whole hell of a lot wrong with it. All the way up until they started asking him about if he ever drank so much that he blacked out. He whiffle-waffled on that a lot. He didn't really answer. I mean, he said no in his opening statements and then just kind of deferred to that. He did that with a lot of things. I already answered that question. But there were a lot of times when he was asked, when he was pressed about it, when being asked questions by the Democrats, and he would always turn it back around to, I drink beer. I like beer. What do you drink? And I'm like, what is that? Fucking, what is that? What is that? So, I don't know. I don't think that Dr. Ford is as choked up about the events as she's putting off. Now, that could be because she's had 36 years to process all this stuff and all manner of counseling on it. That's entirely very reasonable to me, right? So I can't say unequivocally that I don't believe that something happened to her. I can totally buy that something happened to her. But with everything that happened in Kavanaugh's opening statements and all of the questioning, I can't believe that it was him. I just can't. And I think that ultimately I think he is going to wind up being confirmed. I think he made a very strong case for himself. I think a lot of the questions from the Democrats were just awful. Are you willing to demand that there be an FBI inquiry into this? And, I mean, the dude's gone through 6 FBI vetting processes. He's gone through the American Bar Association vetting processes. He has been in a lot of high-ranking positions in our government, and you don't get there easily. So, for somebody to go through that much background check, and then all of a sudden, he's in rape gangs. You know what I mean? Like the new allegation that's come out from Stormy Daniels' lawyer, that he was essentially a part of a fucking rape gang. And I'm like, what in the fuck? What? Like, so, like, the more outlandish it gets, I know that there are a lot of people that go, oh my God, he's so much more terrible than we ever thought. But really think about that. If the guy was in college rape gangs, and he's gone through 6 vetting processes, he's been a clerk for a Supreme Court judge, he's been very high-ranking in the White House, he's gotten vetted to the point where he literally saw every piece of information that went to a sitting president for, I don't know exactly how long, but for at least a portion of a term. Any amount of time. He's gone through a lot of scrutiny to get to the, D.C. appellate court. The second highest court in the nation, to get that far, and to have been in college rape gangs? How incompetent are these people saying that the FBI, the Bar Association, and every other place, group that's looked into this guy, how incompetent do they have to be to let him get as far as he's gotten and never figured out he was in rape gangs? Like, come on. And yet they're calling for another FBI investigation, of which there's already been 6. And they didn't catch any of this. So what? 7th time's a charm? Like, it boggles my mind. Anything the Democrats seem to say these days, I sit there and I go, you're not really thinking about what you're saying, are you? Because we want to have a full-blown investigation because we know that's going to take time. And we're going to push it out as long as we possibly can. It's so transparent. So, ultimately, I think that the entire day's proceedings are going to have very little impact on the ultimate vote that's going to happen. But I can't say that Dr. Ford's lying. I just can't say that I buy that it was him. I don't buy it. Maybe I have to watch her being, obviously I'm going to watch her being questioned, but maybe that might change my mind, but I highly doubt it. I just highly doubt it. I can't help but believe Judge Kavanaugh when he says something may have happened to her, but it certainly wasn't me. I can't find any holes in that. I can say that it bugs me that he was, I don't know if he was trying to do some sort of thing where he was trying to outperform the Democrats by turning this, I like beer. I fully like beer. What do you like? What do you drink? It's like, dude, what are you doing there? That's ridiculous. Like, that first part of it, I'm like, oh, he's fucked. I'm like, this dude is so fucked. There's no way they're going to nominate him if he's doing this dumbass shit. And I'm like sitting there going, I'm not even entirely sure if I'm going to buy his fucking story by the end of this. But as soon as that stopped, the evidence is pretty solid on his side. Every person that she has listed that was there that would have something to say about this, they all have sworn testimony that, nope, I wasn't even there. Even her best friend was like, I don't even know the man. I don't know what you're talking about. So, and for the Democrats to say, well, those aren't really under oath statements. Well, apparently, unless Judge Kavanaugh and the Republicans are fucking lying about this, they still hold the same federal penalty as sitting in front of the Senate and saying the same thing. Like, I don't know. I think what it is the senators really wish that they had common citizens in there that they could grill and try and do these goofy fucking questions like what Booker did, where it's like he's sitting there essentially trying to trap the man into saying that, are you saying that Dr. Ford is a political pawn? I'm not saying she meant to be, but I'm certainly saying you fuckers are using her like one. Like, that should have been the response. At least that would have been the response if I would have been Judge Kavanaugh. I would have said, well, I'm not saying she is, but I'm saying you're using her as one. What her involvement is in that sort of thing, I don't know. But you guys are certainly using her as one. Like, I think that's why they want to talk to this Mike Judge guy. Apparently he's an old drunk. And they want to bring up this book that he wrote. And all this, that, and the other thing. And going through his yearbook and dude, I don't know. It's just, I don't think that what happened today, it's not going to change anybody's mind. The people who are, who have supported Judge Kavanaugh to this point, they're still going to support him. The people who totally believe Dr. Ford up to this point, they're still totally going to believe her. It's just the way we are nowadays. It doesn't matter what people say. Once people's minds are made up, they're fucking made up. But I would be surprised if his confirmation isn't done. If they can ever get to a point where they actually take a vote, I think that he's going to be nominated as a Supreme Court Justice. But I can't sit here. I mean, up until this point, I was very harsh on Dr. Ford's accusations, saying, yeah, with all this shit that's going on, I just don't buy it. But she had a good opening statement. I don't say good in that it supported her claims against Brett Kavanaugh. I don't think it was good as in if this were actually a legal case being tried in a court of law, she would have a chance in hell of winning. I can't say that would happen. I can say pretty much that it would never even get to that point. But, I think something happened to her at some point. Whether or not she is consciously or not replacing the person who may have abused her at one point or another with this guy for whatever reason, I don't know. Again, I don't know the woman. All I have to go on is all I've seen of her today. I'm going to watch her questioning tomorrow. And, if it's a thing where it's in any way affected my view on this, I'll make a video about it. Otherwise, I'm going to make a video on something else. Because, man, I'm tired of talking rape accusations. I'm getting exhausted with it. It's wearing me down. I hate doing this kind of shit because it kills me inside to fucking have to sit there and listen to all this. But, yeah, I can't say that she's lying about the accusation all around. But I just don't buy that it was Judge Kavanaugh that did this. I believe him when he says, wasn't me. And I think that if the Senate votes, yeah, he's probably going to get the job. And I think that that's going to be just another fucking thing that is just going to be harped on forever. I'm already seeing people just saying the most ridiculous shit. They've already decided the future. Like they have a crystal ball, and they've already seen that he's totally gonna get confirmed, and then the first thing he's gonna do is overturn Roe versus Wade, and then he's gonna kill everybody's puppies, and man. And I don't see it. And you know what? In another 10, 20 years, when nobody's overturned Roe versus Wade, they're not going to sit there and go, oh, I guess I was wrong. They're going to be like, oh, no, he's just waiting for the right moment. And it's like, come on. Like, I think everybody needs to simmer down a little bit. I think everybody needs to kind of look at some shit realistically. And just fucking calm down. Like, this is just getting fucking ridiculous at this point. It's just really seriously getting insane. And, I don't think it's going to get any better from here. I think it's going to get progressively worse. God forbid another Supreme Court chair open. Because, fucking shit, man. Like, honestly, I don't know who seriously would want to run for public office at this point. Like, I think that might, like, ultimately that might be the plan. We're just going to make it to where nobody that isn't us just wants to even run for office. Because now we're willing to just utterly destroy people's lives. Like, there's no scruples anymore. No scruples. It's just sad. Like, I was thinking to myself when I was heading into work today, I was like, am I excited to hear this fucking case? And I'm like, no, I'm just sad. Like, I was just sad all day today. It was just a terrible day. Because I'm just like, man, this, no matter what, it isn't going to make a difference. People are still going to believe what they believe. Like, this isn't going to change anybody's mind with anything. And all it's going to be is a sideshow. It's going to be, like, when does it end? Where does it end? When does it get to the point where people handle things appropriately? You know, when is, I don't even know, man. It's just ridiculous. Like, I don't know. There were some interesting moments. Lindsey Graham, that guy was fucking pissed. And man, did he not give a shit about showing it. He was fucking furious. They really hammered Senator Feinstein. Really hammered her hardcore. There was even a point when the questioning broke down, and it was the senators, a couple of senators essentially looking at her like, did you leak this? Like, who leaked this? Did your people leak this? Because apparently only your people and her attorney leaked this. So either her attorney leaked this, or one of you guys leaked it. And she's sitting there going, I didn't leak it, and I don't know about my people, I haven't talked to them about it. Oh wait, yeah, I did talk to them about it. They didn't leak it. I mean, it was just like, but, you know, the real question is, why did you sit on it for 60 days or whatever it is, through all of these private closed-door sessions and whatnot? And she just sat on it. You know, and that really never got pressed. But yeah, it was interesting to see the Republicans essentially get on Dr. Ford's side, like, as much as they could. They never at any point said that they believed her. They never at any point said that they believed, well, they never at any point said that they believed that it was Judge Kavanaugh she was referring to. They all said, we believe something happened to her, but, you know, but yeah, they were really hitting the Democrats with, she wanted to stay anonymous, and you guys leaked her name. Like, they were really hitting them hard with that, and that was interesting to see. I don't know, it's interesting to see, like, the weird tactical things that I didn't predict were interesting. I was sitting there going, oh, that's, huh. You know, that kind of, I mean, it didn't really take me by surprise. I just didn't think about it enough to really sit there and put myself in their shoes and go, what are they going to do? So it was interesting to see, you know, how everybody tactically played this out on the dais. But, yeah, man, I believe Brett Kavanaugh when he says, this was not me. I did not do this. So take that for what it is. I know that anybody that watches this that is totally on Dr. Ford's side and totally hates Brett Kavanaugh and thinks that he's Satan incarnate, conveniently when they don't believe that Donald Trump is Satan incarnate. Satan kind of changes form from time to time depending on who it is that's the most popular person to hate at the moment. But all of those people are going to think that I'm essentially calling her a liar and whatnot. And man, I'm saying I don't know what she's talking about, but I buy it when Brett Kavanaugh says this wasn't me. So take that for what it is. If you want to say I'm calling her a liar, man, you talk to yourself all day you want. I don't give a shit. I don't know whether she's lying or not, but I can say that her statement is that it was Brett Kavanaugh that did this, and I can say that I don't buy that. So if you want to say that I'm saying she's lying, I guess I'm saying she's lying about that. Whether or not something actually happened to her or not, man, I don't know. I don't know. I can believe that something did, but I just can't believe that it was him. So there you go. That's my ultimate ruling on it for what it matters. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're sitting here in my apartment, and I'm wearing a fucking Sterling Archer for President t-shirt. So if you're going to sit there and decide you want to fucking yell at me about this shit, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about something dumb. So, what do you want from me? But yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't buy that it was him.